And welcome back, everybody. And now we are headed down to the home warranty and the importance of a home warranty. And I absolutely love having this young lady with us to speak. She's actually taught every class that we've had, um, and she's taught home warranty for every class that we've put together. And it's such a thrill to have her, Miss Heidi Goff from Home Warranty of America. She's going to share her contact info later. Make sure you write it down, put it in your command, and it is a home warranty resource for you. It's one of several that we have available, but I'll just tell you, she's my favorite. So, Heidi, to you.
Thank you. Thank you. As Barry said, my name is Heidi. I am with Home Warranty of America. I live on the Missouri side of the river. However, I do service the Southern Illinois area as well. I actually go all the way over to like Lincoln and Warren counties in Missouri. So I am all over the place. So whether you do business on either side of the river, I am, or even the other river, you could go Missouri or Mississippi rivers. I'm everywhere. So I'm happy to be here today. I am going to I've put together a little slideshow, and I have, as Barry said, done this for all of the classes. So I'm excited to go through this because it's really just kind of more bullet points on what to look for, what to expect, how home warranties work, etc. So I am going to start with sharing my screen and going into a slideshow here. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
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 Okay, sorry. Thanks. Okay.
Hey, before Heidi starts, Heidi, can I jump in real quick?
Of course, yeah.
I'm going to ruin your presentation.
Okay.
Remember when our home inspector said he always recommends the furnace be fixed and a furnace checked out and all these things kind of be serviced? And I know Heidi's going to talk about this, but I want to remind you that was a key thing that Benji talked about. Service a furnace before you buy the home warranty. Furnace or service those major appliances before you buy a home warranty. And the inspector will call it out. You always call it out. And then Heidi's going to take it from there. I'm going to shut up now, Heidi.
The inspector is going to call it out. He's totally right. He's going to call it out on everyone, and you're going to call me and be like, he did it again. So yes, absolutely. So this is obviously my information, and this is a picture of me with makeup, which I very rarely wear. So don't get used to seeing that. Our agenda today is just, we're going to run through some benefits for your sellers, your buyers, yourself. And I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the camera. I keep looking at the pictures of everybody. So I feel like I'm talking more to you if I'm looking at your picture. Starting off with, what is a home warranty? We are put in place to offset costs for your clients. So whether it's your sellers or your buyers, we are here to help offset the cost of expensive replacements and repairs for things that they have to do in their home. In order for them to qualify, their appliances must be in proper working order. So that basically isn't necessarily a test, especially for seller's coverage. That's us taking your word. You're the listing agent. You're saying, yes, we understand everything's in proper working order. We're going to start the seller's warranty. Have passed a simple mechanical test. That is more related to your buyer's coverage, and that's an inspection. So that just says the inspector came through, they did a mechanical test, whether it's, they turned on the water faucet to make sure it runs, or they started the dishwasher, etc. It has to be properly maintained, and that is more specifically related to your HVAC. So we cover failures due to normal wear and tear, meaning not damage and not neglect. If something has not been maintained, like your HVAC is going to be the most common thing that is not maintained, that is a reason for denial for any home warranty company. So like Barry said earlier, when an inspector calls out an HVAC system that needs to be serviced, that's exactly what they're talking about. You want to have somebody come out and service that system. So they're basically going to come out and clean it, check it, make sure nothing's wrong. If nothing's wrong, you put that warranty in place. We don't care how old it is. It's going to be covered under our plan. If something is wrong with it during that inspection and that cleaning, that whoever's cleaning it, that company is going to call that out to you or to the homeowner, and that must be fixed prior to closing in order for us to cover it. The appliances and systems must be located within the main confines of the home. So within the four walls of the home, with the exception of the portion of the HVAC system that's located outside the home and any detached garages. So we do have garage door coverage, and that would qualify even though the garage may be detached from the main building. The seller benefits are that we will cover them under the listing coverage for up to 12 months. All the seller coverage plans start as a 6-month plan, but we can extend them when that's necessary. Fortunately, I would say for years now, that's not even been necessary. Very rarely do we have a listing that goes for more than 6 months. We are protecting the seller from investing more money into their home. So obviously they're looking to sell their home. They don't want to dump a lot of extra cost into replacing their microwave, or their refrigerator isn't working properly, etc. So again, as long as it's working properly at the time that you take the listing and put the listing coverage in place, that would be something that will qualify. Listing coverage converting over to a buyer helps minimize post-sale disputes. So that's really huge, not so much in the market right this immediate minute, but looking back previous markets, and I'm sure it's going to be the same going forward, post-sale disputes can be extremely tedious. That's basically a buyer closes, something breaks, they come back to the seller and say, you knew about this and you didn't do anything to protect us. Then they drag the seller in, the listing agent, the buyer's agent, the lender, the title company. They try to get everybody they can to come to the rescue. If you're offering a home warranty and saying, look, I don't know that anything is wrong, but I'd like to give you this warranty up front so that we can cover any problems, you're already offsetting that. It is a useful negotiating tool, and that's basically for what I just said. So helps overcoming price objections. We did find in 2017, we did a study. Also, I notice I'm talking really fast. So if I get going too fast, y'all, somebody jump in and tell me to slow down. In 2017, we did a study and we found that a home that is offering a home warranty up front will get up to $2,300 more for their home than one that isn't. Additionally, a buyer that is trying to decide between two homes will 83.6% of the time make an offer on a home that's offering a warranty than one that isn't. So there's two statistics right there from 2017 that tells you anyone who's immediately offering a warranty is going to get a higher price, and they're going to get a more frequent buyer than someone who isn't. Help setting the sellers apart. That's exactly what I just said. So you're going to stand out a little bit more than the one who isn't offering anything. And providing that buyer with peace of mind, whether you're the listing agent or the buyer's agent, giving that buyer that little peace of mind to know that they're closing on a home and they have the protection that they should, or at least as much protection as they can get, is extremely important. The seller coverage limits are the free coverage. So we offer two plans. The free coverage is plumbing, electrical, appliances, and that is 6 months, again, extendable for 12 months if your listing goes that long. We do offer an HVAC upgrade. So it's still the same plumbing, electrical, appliances, but we add the HVAC component for $50. And that $50 is paid at closing. The seller doesn't have to pay us anything up front. They would file a claim just like a buyer would file a claim. They would pay their deductible, or what we call a trade call fee, directly to the contractor who comes out. They pay it at the time of the diagnosis, and provided that that failure is covered under the plan, we cover the rest. So the HVAC, as I said, is an additional $50. The maximum benefit to the seller over the course of the coverage is $1,500 in the aggregate. So whether that plan goes 6 months, it goes 12 months, it goes 3 days, whatever it is, the maximum benefit to your seller is $1,500. Now, the maximum benefit to a buyer once they convert that plan is $15,000. So that changes significantly, but that's the difference in a paid plan and a free plan or a $50 plan. The buyer benefits are extremely similar, so it offsets their risk. We already discussed that. The most important thing for most buyers is they want to get in a house, right? They're always looking for the very best deal they can get and the very nicest things that they can get. Offsetting a portion of the risk is important, particularly for new home buyers, but also your run-of-the-mill middle, third, fourth, fifth time home buyers oftentimes don't have the funds set aside to replace things like a washer and dryer or a refrigerator, even a dishwasher. Most homeowners don't realize how expensive those items actually are. I can tell you, I just replaced my washer and dryer, and nothing was actually wrong with my washer or dryer. My husband just wanted to replace them, and they were rather pricey. So keeping in mind that when we say we offset a portion of that risk, we have rules. And so we are only going to cover what is actually failing due to normal wear and tear. But even if, I like to always say with like your HVAC system, the chances of us covering an entire HVAC system are not very likely. And that's just because the likelihood of all those components failing at the same time it's very rare. Now, that being said, the most expensive parts are the ones that fail. So even if we were to replace, maybe I'm throwing numbers out, $700 for a heat exchanger, and the homeowner has to pay for the sheet metal modifications and things like that. If we save them $700 and they had to pay $300, would they still be happy with that product, knowing that they could have paid $1,000, but now they only have to pay $300? So that's kind of really important way to look at it. And when you're explaining what a home warranty is to your clients, that's an important thing as well, because you want to make sure that they understand that home warranties across the board are only going to cover what fails. Helps protecting buyers and sellers if the seller is unresponsive, or helps protect the buyer if the seller is unresponsive. That goes back to the last page as well. We know that a seller post-closing is probably going to be like, I'm out. I sold the house. I don't know anything. Nothing was wrong when I left. This is on you. And that's very true. In most cases, your contract isn't going to protect you against anything that happens after closing. And that's because if it was working on day one, then the seller did exactly what you have asked them to. They gave you a house that they disclosed what they knew was wrong. It helps to budget for unexpected costs. And that just, again, goes back to the offsetting of the cost. So a homeowner can know that if something does break, not if they break it, but if something does fail on its own, that they're going to have some protection set aside for that. Providing support to help the home function. Obviously, your biggest thing is your HVAC, and that's our number one claim. But strangely enough, we also get a ton of refrigerator claims. Most people in general are storing their food in their refrigerator and they're making their meals. Most people don't eat out every single meal. When that refrigerator fails, you need something, to either fix it, repair it, etc., because your groceries are going to thaw out and be ruined, right? So just know that that's there for that purpose as well. And providing supplemental coverage for defects in materials. And that just means that if we do have someone come out and repair or replace something, we do offer a 30-day warranty on their workmanship and a 90-day warranty on the, a 90-day warranty on their workmanship and 30 days on the actual fix. So just meaning if something fails in the first 30 days after you've already had it fixed, you don't have to pay that trade call fee again. So maybe they come out and fix your refrigerator. In day 20, the same thing happens. They come back out to fix it again or replace it, whatever it is. And that $100 trade call fee or $75 trade call fee, depending on the plan, you don't pay, or the homeowner doesn't pay that to that contractor again. The realtor benefits, so just things that set you apart when you're in a listing presentation or a buyer's presentation. When you start talking about a warranty, that's probably something, unless they have a current home warranty from their previous sale or purchase, they probably don't know much about it. And even if they have one, they may not know. I've had clients that have had a home warranty and never filed a claim because they didn't even know that it was in place. So make sure if it's something you're negotiating on behalf of your client that they understand that it's there to help protect them. And make sure that they always call us prior to filing or to fixing anything. So they want to call us and file the claim, let us handle it from there. If they fix it themselves and then call us to file a claim, it will not be covered. Again, great negotiating tools. So you can always have that on the back burner when you're talking to your buyers and sellers. If you're in a super, major bidding war and you don't want to throw that in, you can always have your buyers purchase it on their own if they feel that that's something that would benefit them. Or you can wait until inspections. Maybe inspections come back and they say, the most common one, the HVAC system is exceeding its life expectancy, right? They always say that. So what that means to me is it's old. Most of them are. That doesn't keep them from getting coverage. So just because a system or a home is old doesn't prevent them from being covered. However, you want to look out for that verbiage like we discussed earlier, which is that the inspector either recommends that a contractor come out and repair something or a contractor come out and clean and service it. So clean and service is not a red flag. That's something we want to make sure it gets done, but that's not saying anything's broken. It's just saying they need to clean it. Otherwise, if the inspector says, oh, it looks like this is maybe the AC is not pulling down to temperature, that is a red flag. That is a problem. You need to make sure someone comes out prior to your buyer closing and services that and fixes it. Going back to the negotiating tool, if there is nothing wrong with the HVAC and you have the seller and the buyer saying, hey, this HVAC is old, you can always come back and say, I get it, it's old, but it's not failing. We'll give you a home warranty. It's covered under the plan. That's true across the board every time. If it's not failing, it's covered under the plan. Listing with a home warranty gets you closer to asking price. So I'm not going to go through that again. We did that study and we know that it either gets you closer to asking price, or at this point in the market, it's getting you over asking price. Access to our 7-touch client follow-up plan and our marketing tools. I'm actually going to jump to another screen now, or you know what, I'm not. I'm going to come back to that at the end, but I'm going to take you into our website as part of this and show you those things as well, because you should already be doing a client follow-up plan, whether it's a 7-touch, whether it's 133-touch, or everybody has a different system on how many touches and how many clients you need to reach out to. But our system is set up so that you can go in and pull data, pull information, flyers, and send them out to your entire sphere. And it is marketed HWA, obviously, but it also will be marketed with your information as you've loaded it into our system when you register. So that's super good information to have anyway, but it's also a really easy touch for you to make. Our paid claims emails are my favorite. This is one that I just pulled for a class that I did on Monday. So I updated this from a previously old email. So this was taken from last week, and you can see I've whited out the information, but it will show you, it will be sent to you as the realtor, and it'll say your name. It will tell you sorry, I've got my pen, I'm just not using it. What has been covered. It'll list your buyer's names, it'll list the property address, and it'll tell you how much we saved them on that item. So that is one claim. So on a water heater, obviously we replaced the water heater. This wasn't just a repair. But on that water heater, for one client, we saved them $1,085. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about with sometimes there are going to be out-of-pocket costs. So maybe your homeowner pays a sheet metal, that's the most common thing on an HVAC system that they're going to have to cover. They may pay some modifications, but overall, they're getting a home warranty plan for somewhere between $500 and $600. And this is already almost doubled what they've paid. So that's like just an immediate making their money back. I don't know how Barry uses these, but These paid claims emails are also an awesome touch for you to reach out to your clients. You want to keep in touch with those clients that you've already closed just as much as your current sphere that you're working with. So this is an easy way. You take that email, forward it to your buyer and say, oh my gosh, it looks like you just had to replace your water heater. Is everyone okay? I hope there's no damage to your home, yada, yada.
That's
Reach
exactly
out.
what that's exactly what I was going to bring up. That's exactly what I do. You as an agent will get this as well, like Heidi said. And I take it and it's a reminder immediately that, you know what, I'm going to call Mr. Homeowner that owns that Heidi let me know they fixed and say, hey, I'm glad we got that home warranty. Hey, hope everything's okay. How are you doing? And just stay top of mind, right? Because these are past clients that are going to refer you. So you referred them to a great product that took care of them because there was a hiccup, and now they're with you forever because you didn't leave them at closing. And there are a lot of agents who, once you close a house, you'll never hear from that agent again. Because Heidi sends these emails to me, I'm able to call. And a couple of years ago, it was about a year ago, I had 3 claims from that Heidi sent me an email like once a month for 3 months because it was 3 little issues that came up. And these folks had just closed on a home. It was an older home. And it was $300 or $400 each. So I called them and I'm like, hey, what's, I see a trend here. What are you guys doing? And it come to find out it was like one problem that we thought it was one problem and it was the next problem and the next problem. Um, but they were like, hey, we're good. We just pick up the phone, we call, and it gets fixed. And so we're happy. And I'm like, great. So you're satisfied. And believe it or not, these folks are still staying in touch with me today because they are 100%. They realized that, there were a couple of little issues in the house that nobody knew about. And then because Heidi was able to take care of them, and everybody says Heidi took care of it because it's who they know. She's the face of Home Warranty of America.
And mind you, I don't take care of it. Okay, y'all. Don't.
But yeah, they're sold on Heidi.
Yeah. And I will say, as far as that saying that I took care of it, there is some um very tiny little bit of that is true. If somebody does experience a problem, and I will be the first to tell you, in the middle of summer, somebody's going to experience a problem because we get backed up. There's a whole lot of HVAC claims. There's, things happen even sometimes in the dead of winter when it's freezing cold. It is inevitable that 15 people's furnace is going to break at the same time every year. So it does happen. And if that happens, I'll go through a concierge line with you guys later. That's a realtor only hotline. That's the #1 resource for you when something like that happens. But I am here. If I'm doing something like this, obviously I'm not going to answer a phone call or an email, but otherwise I try to get back to people just as soon as possible. And I am here to make sure that things get fixed. So when we do have a snafu, I'm your girl. You're going to call me, keep me posted. And whether I have to reach out to concierge, which I'm not allowed to call them, but I can email them. Whether I need to do that or you want to do that, one of us, we're going to make sure that it gets taken care of. So I will say that, keep me in the loop because I'm your best advocate for sure. Why choose HWA? So the biggest differentiator with us is our 13-month plans. All of our buyer plans are 13 months instead of 12. So you immediately get an extra month, and everybody knows if something's going to break, it's going to be on day 366. No age restrictions. So as I said earlier, we don't have age restrictions on the appliances, the systems, or the house. I don't care how old it is, as long as it works, it's covered. More than 120 items covered, and that's breaking it down. If you're going with our top plan, that's breaking down all the way from the handles on your refrigerator to the shower head in the shower, etc. And that's not covered. Every single item and detail is not covered on the bottom plan. So I like to throw that out there too, so everyone knows to make sure you check out the coverage before you just throw a number out to your buyer for a home warranty. And that's also especially important when you're asking the seller to pay for it. Honestly, our plans are one of the least expensive plans on the market. Caveat to that, I am positive we're going to have a price increase this year. I don't think it's going to be a lot, but we haven't had one since 2018. So I'm just throwing that out there for future knowledge. But yeah, just just make sure that you have some sort of comprehension of what each plan covers before you throw a number out for your clients, because we want to make sure that, if they're going into a home where every single thing in that home is old, you may want to try and get them the highest coverage, even if maybe the seller only pays part of it and the buyer pays part of it. Just keep that in mind. Protection against unknown pre-existing conditions. This one is huge. So our plans do cover unknown pre-existing conditions, and unknown means that the seller or the buyer, the agents, did not know about it. A really common one is your dishwasher is leaking. Well, the inspector comes out and checks the dishwasher. As long as it is running, they have no idea that there could be a leak underneath of it. That's one that is really well hidden. So that's a super common one to have a pre-existing condition that was unknown. As far as what is a known condition, that's not going to be covered. That is anything that shows up on your inspection that says it needs to be repaired or replaced that is not repaired or replaced. So we do reserve the right to see the inspection at the time a claim is filed or before a claim is paid out. And if we get an inspection and it shows that the inspector knew something was failing and it wasn't fixed, then it's not going to be covered. On the flip side of that, if you get an inspection and you see something needs to be fixed, the seller fixes it or even the buyer fixes it, you just save that receipt. And that way, when you send us that inspection, you send us that too and say, hey, this was failing. Here's our receipt showing we got it fixed. And then it's going to be covered. Our national network is not owned by us. So that's also really important in my opinion. We don't have a tie to the contractors that come out, aside from we vet them out, we make sure they're licensed and bonded, and we kick them out of our system if they aren't doing things properly. So in order to get a contractor removed, it's a tedious process. We don't let a client kick someone out of our network just because, of one thing, unless obviously it was a major thing. But that protects our contractors as well. But we do vet our contractors out and make sure that they are qualified professionals and able to do the job that they say they can do. So I like that we don't own them, because then we don't have anything to benefit by giving them that business. We basically give business as a round robin to our contractors in the network, divided up through the zip codes that the property is in. So we're always trying to get someone as local to them as possible. And we want to make sure that they're able to do that job. So another caveat to that, if you do have a contractor that you feel maybe isn't responsive or isn't getting back in touch with the homeowner or something like that, that again is something that we need to make sure that either myself or concierge know, so that we can follow up on that. We had a guy last year who his wife was diagnosed with cancer, and we noticed he's been a great contractor for us for years. And we started getting complaints. He's not responding. And at first we didn't know. And when we followed up with him, he said, I'm really sorry. I'm just not able to get the amount of claims that I used to. Since my wife was diagnosed with cancer, I'm her main caretaker. So stuff like that pops up, you guys. And I like to say, just try to be patient with the contractors too, because we never know what situation they're in. COVID brought that, I think, to a lot of us. Like, we just never know what anybody's going through. So again, just make sure you notify me if something like that pops up. Our plans and coverage options are simple but comprehensive. So we have a gold, platinum, and diamond plan. And pretty much you can tell it's going to be the lower, the middle, the upper. The gold plan has a $75 trade call fee, and the single family home less than 5,000 square feet is $450. Our platinum and diamond plans are both $100 trade call fees, and they are $550 and $590 for single family. We do offer multi-families. We offer multi-years. We offer condo coverage, which is just a little bit cheaper per year. Townhome and mobile home also fall into the condo price. And we also offer new construction. So it does not cover structure, but it starts on day 366. So your builder typically will cover you for the first year. If your buyer wants a plan that covers them after that, set them up before closing under our new construction plan. It will automatically kick in on day 366. And the price of the regular plan, so gold, platinum, or diamond, will cover them for 2 years on a new construction plan. So that's going to be, let's say they get platinum under a new construction plan, it's $550. The builder covers them for the first year. Our plan kicks in on day 366 and will cover them for year 2 and 3, but for the cost of the 1-year plan for a regular residential. So just something a little different to keep in mind. We do have optional coverages, and we offer quite a few. The standard ones are going to be your pool, your spa, the external water line, sewer, septic, well, things like that. We also offer Green Plus, and a Green Plus is our most popular option. That one is $70. And in the case that we have to replace a system or appliance in their home, the Green Plus will allow them to upgrade to a more energy efficient or green model at no additional charge. So that one, like I said, it's our most popular one because everybody is trying to get the most energy efficient option that they can. And typically we're going to replace it with whatever is most like what you already have. So if that's not the most energy efficient model, you're probably going to end up more with a basic model with a replacement. Now, the other thing is through February 28th, and this is not as part of my slideshow because it's just a promotion that we have running. Through February 28th, we are offering one of 7 add-ons for free with any plan. So regardless of which plan a buyer chooses, they can add on the Green Plus, the external water line, the septic tank pumping and pump coverage, the well coverage, standalone freezer, or kitchen refrigerator. And the kitchen refrigerator is only for the gold plan because that one doesn't include it. The other 2 already have that. But one of 7 options they can add for free right now. So keep that in mind. If you do send me an order and it doesn't have an extra add-on on it, I'm going to just automatically add that Green Plus automatically. So I said automatically twice there, I think. HWA does offer a military discount. That is an ongoing discount. It's always available. However, you have to provide proof that your client is an active or retired military. So you guys on that side of the river probably get a lot of military people. But the other thing that I like to tell you is if we are offering another promotion, they want to take the best one. They can't have both. So in this case, they're probably more likely to get a better benefit out of the free add-on than they are the $25 discount. But if you have a client that would prefer the discount over the add-on, that is always available for active and retired military. To order is gotten so much easier. We went through a system change last year and it was not the easiest thing, but we have since fixed that. So it is easy. And I am going to go into that system for you guys in just a couple of minutes and show that to you. You can also send orders to this order email address. However, I don't recommend that. You'll see that sometimes in our promotional emails. If you sign up for those, it'll send you that to send orders, but it's not the easiest. The easiest thing is going to be to go to this website, register yourself, and log in and do your order, or the highlighted part. Call me. You can call me every single time. You can text an order. You can email an order. You can call me with an order. Typically, I'll say whatever is easiest for you is totally fine with me. Again, keep in mind, I'm not going to answer immediately if it's during the day. I'm typically doing things like this. However, I'm happy to help with orders. I usually put orders in every evening. So regardless of what I'm doing during the day, those orders pile up in my inbox. I come home at night and put them in the system for you. So just know that you can always do that option as well if you don't want to go onto the website.
Hey, pro tip for you guys. The first time you order a home warranty, call Heidi. The very first time you order it, call her and let her walk you through it, give her the information. Your account will be built and all that kind of stuff. So first time, I'm just going to tell you, call Heidi.
Yeah, and I can go into and just make sure that you're set up as a realtor, because a lot of times our portal actually does make it pretty easy when you just say add. ad account or something like that to add your information. But if I can always go in and place the orders for you, and I know exactly off the top of my head what information you need for the order, so it's just easy, like Barry said, for me to walk you through it and let you know what you need. So, and again, we can do that email, text, phone, any way that's easy for you is fine with me. Another thing I want to throw out at this point with regards to ordering, I work Southern Illinois in conjunction with Leanne Luckett. So Leanne Luckett is the rep for almost all of Illinois. She's got a chunk of Chicago and then pretty much everything south. She's been in the business for 20 years and she's pretty amazing, but she can't cover the entire state. That's just not even realistic. So if you see things come across, like after you're registered, you'll be automatically on an email list. And if you see things come across from Leanne Luckett, that's only because she's technically the rep for that area. We're not fighting for business or anything like that. So I don't want people to think, oh, I'm not giving Leanne business, I'm giving it to Heidi. We're all the same thing. We're all the same team. So the concierge desk. So this is one of my favorite things. Like I said, if you do come across any kind of issue with regards to a claim for one of your clients or a contractor issue or anything like that, this dedicated concierge desk is amazing. They are there. 2018, I believe, is when we created this desk, and it was specifically for this reason. So it's a round robin of representatives. Most of them have some sort of management authority. So when you call them, they're sitting at their computer anyway. They can go in, they can see parts of the claims that I can't even see. They're able to call contractors. I'm not able to call contractors. They're able to get things rescheduled. I'm not allowed to do that in the system. So there's a lot of reasons to call them. Now, that being said, if you're not comfortable with that, or that's not something maybe you have time for, you're always welcome to reach out to me. And like I said, I can email them and get things going as well. By calling them, it just seems to move a little bit faster because they just go, detail to manager versus me being a middleman. But in the case that that's not a convenient option for you, you're always welcome to reach out to me. I'm going to leave it on this screen for just a minute, long enough for you guys to write that down, just because I do think it's a really important aspect and information for you to have. Phyllis, I'm watching you. So you tell me when you've got it written down, and I'm going to judge that by everybody else. I can't hear you. You're muted. Did you? Thumbs up?
I said, how did you know I was writing?
Well, I didn't. It just looked like you were looking and back and forth. So I'm like, I'm going to use her as my
I'm through.
earmark there. Okay, you're all good though? Okay, so now we're at the questions part. And before I jump into that, we have a few minutes. So you are welcome to jump in and ask questions anytime. I am going to start sharing a different screen with you though. And I'm going to jump over to our website.
Hey, while Heidi's doing that, you guys are starting to understand now why we put the home inspector and the home warranty together, because whatever that home inspector points out, you can get a lot of that fixed instead of saying on your inspection response, have a qualified plumber or have a qualified HVAC tech service or do whatever. You can actually buy a home warranty and say, hey, seller to provide a home warranty in an inspection response. And that's going to cover, say the furnace works great, but it's old. Like Heidi said, like it's old. You can say, hey, have it serviced and buy me a home warranty. We're not going to ask you to replace it. Or, there's things you just don't know, like the dishwasher leaking. Home inspector will never call that out. You may think, and I don't know why you would say dishwasher's leaking unless you see the puddle. But it's always just it's a safety thing, right? And for $400 or $500, $600, and it comes out of closing. And I'll tell you guys how that works. When Heidi puts it in, you're going to get an email. You provide that to the title company. And I think the title company may even talked about it. At least Joe may have talked about that when she was on the other day. you're going to send that invoice to the title company, and the title company is going to write the check to Home Warranties. So the seller, buyer, nobody's out any money. It comes out of closing. So it only makes sense in my mind to get a home warranty. And it's just that added coverage. And like I've told you, I've seen several instances through over the years where a home warranty has saved somebody several $1,000s in 3, 4, 6 months because there was something that was wrong. Just something that was wrong that because we thought ahead of time, we had a lead indicator. The fact that, we bought a home warranty and it was an older home. Heidi was able to cover it. And so you have happy clients, and that's all we want, right? We want happy clients, because happy clients are return clients.
Clients that trust you, and they are
Yeah.
going to trust you if you just show them that you're helping to protect them.
Right. Right. And that home warranty and that home inspection, if you have the right home inspector who takes their time and does their due diligence, you're taking care of that buyer. You're finding them the right house. Adding Heidi on, or adding any home warranty on, and I use Heidi because instead of home warranty, I just say, adding a Heidi. It works. That's just that next level. Now, there are realtors who don't trust home warranties, and I didn't trust a home warranty until I met Heidi and went through this, and then said, okay, and we bought a home warranty and saw that it worked. Now I'm sold on them.
Yeah, and it's, it is easy, and it's something that I battle every single day, is just trying to get people to understand that just because a home warranty doesn't cover everything doesn't mean that it doesn't serve your buyer's value. Because like I said, most home buyers go in and they can't afford to replace the dishwasher. A dishwasher is $700. I mean, that's a bit ridiculous, but I would not trade my dishwasher for anything. So, just keeping in mind that kind of thing is that, yes, it is important to explain to your clients that home warranties don't cover everything, but they cover a lot. So setting them up front with that expectation will absolutely keep you from having to call our concierge department. I'll tell you that right now, because I have had people call concierge and say, so-and-so filed a claim and it wasn't covered. You guys need to cover it. Well, we are every time going to follow the contract. So if it's not covered as part of the plan, I can't even go to bat for you. If it's a denial that is part of the plan and somebody just, denied it for a wrong reason or something, or didn't maybe have all the details from the contractor, then I can absolutely go to bat. But if it's not covered under the plan and the homeowner didn't even look at the plan, even my hands are tied for that. So jumping over here to our website, can everybody see the website? Okay, perfect. So right here, and I don't know if you can see my cursor, but you want to make sure when you get in there that you're on the real estate tab. And then you're going to come down and create an account. So unless you're an agent that already has an account with us, at which time you would log in, and I'm going to do that in a second because I can't create another account. But if you're a first-time visitor, you're going to come down here to this area and create an account. So I'm going to come in and log in as my alias, because if I log in as my HWA person, you don't get to see the site as you actually would see it as a realtor. So I created myself a fake real estate account so that when I log in to show people that you can kind of see exactly what it would look like. So when you log in, obviously it's going to have your name at the top, and to the right is my information. So they keep telling me there's going to be a picture there, but I don't ever see a picture. I just see this little, fake thing. But anyway, nobody needs to know what I look like. It's fine. My information is there. My cell phone number is the easiest way to reach me. So whether it's text or call, I would always say use that over 800. If you're using the 800 number, you can use that to place an order, like especially if I'm out in the field and you have an immediate need. Maybe you're closing tomorrow and you totally forgot to order the warranty. That would be a good way to do it. However, you're probably going to experience a hold time. So I would even still say, shoot me over a text and say, I'm so sorry, I have an urgent need. Let me find somebody on my team that can help you right away. And then you don't have to be, held up on an 888 line for who knows how long to just place an order. My email is there as well. So again, just use that as a resource. I do get my email on my phone, but if I'm out and about, I'm not checking my email a lot. So The next thing we're going to do is if you're going to place an order, you're going to come over here to this sale right here, and that drop down is order warranty. Then it's going to walk you through. So you're just going to choose a zip code. It's going to walk you through exactly what you need. You're going to tell it if it's a seller plan or a buyer plan. So we're going to go buyer plan, single family, but again, you can choose condo, which condo is going to be condo, townhome, or mobile home is all the condo plan. Duplex, fourplex, triplex, new construction, and that other one is going to be when they jump up over 5,000 square feet. Just so you know, that is in our brochure, but when they jump, when the home, the living area jumps up over 5,000 square feet, that price pretty much doubles. So just keep that in mind too. I like to say that the homes that are over 5,000 square feet, you guys, in most cases, that's considered a luxury home. And those people are more than welcome to purchase a home warranty, but they're not the people that probably need it the most. And they're not going to find the most value in it because they're going to pay significantly higher rates to get the warranty. And they're going to want immediate service. So I'm not putting anyone in a category, but if I'm a doctor in Ladue and my air conditioner breaks, I'm going to call somebody to come out and fix it right this minute while I'm here before I go on call or I, get on a flight to wherever. And I'm not going to want to wait for a home warranty to come out. So just throwing that out there for you. So in this case, let's stick with single family. Let's just say it's 2,500, but it does give you the options to choose what it is. And then we're going to go always 13 months is the only thing you can order. If you want to order a multi-year, that would have to go through me every time. And then start your order. So you can see that this is a pretty simple process. It's going to walk you through. You just choose the plan that you want. And I'm in Missouri right now. I put the order in as a Missouri zip, but the prices in Missouri and Illinois are exactly the same. We're on the same brochure and under the same plans. Over here is where you're going to take and add on anything that you want to add on. So again, if you have that gold plan, it does not include the washer and dryer or the refrigerator. So if that was something you want to add on, you can always scroll down here. So you'll see there's a second refrigerator, but if you have the gold, you don't even have the first one yet. So make sure that if you're trying to add that, you go in, I think it's called kitchen refrigerator. And I don't even see it, but I know it's here. Oh, it's not here because I picked the diamond plan. But anyway, that would be an option for you. I think I chose Green Plus. And so when you move on, it's basically fill in the blank. You're just going to fill in the information here. I would say typically give as much information here as you can. The phone number and email are not required to finish the order. However, if your clients go in to file a claim and we don't have contact information for them, it's going to be a lot harder of a process than if we already have that set up. So then the contractor can reach out to them or we can reach out to them if we have questions. If you don't have that in here, it's kind of more of like trying to go back through the portal to communicate, which is harder. You're going to pick your closing date and just so you know, if you ever pick a closing date that is today, I cannot go in and edit that. So if possible, try to make sure you order them prior to the day of closing. And that way, if something is wrong or something needs to be changed or tweaked, I can go in and change it. If you order it as of today, it immediately goes into effect. And then I can still make changes, but what I have to do is cancel the entire plan and start a new one. So again, not a huge deal, but just something to be aware of. So we're just going to throw out a February 11th date and come on. And then we're going to come in here and choose our title company. Now I'm going to go with, I think somebody that's in here. And that's just because it's the top of mind person that I could think of that I knew was automatically in here. If you have a title company that is not in here, don't fret. Just come down here to this click here and it opens these spots up. You can just give that person a name, manually type in their email here, and move on with your life.
A
Um,
quick pro tip on this one too, guys. Most of the title companies that you're going to work with in the Metro East are already in her system.
yes.
That they are. So it's going to be rare that you don't have a title company in Heidi's system.
And if it does happen, it is an easy override. Just clicking that button is totally easy. So, but yes, he's right. Most of them should be in there. It's just a matter of time. And so if you do have one where you override and manually type, I do like if you could shoot me an email with their info. That way I can get them in the system. So next time you don't have that problem. So now we're going to continue. It is always going to verify the address. This is my address, so I know it's right. But it's always going to ask you to verify. The only way that you can override this is by clicking this X. So if you get here and you're like, oh my gosh, I completely typed this wrong. The biggest one for me is zip codes. If you try to put an address in the wrong zip code, it's always going to come up that either it can't find it or maybe it finds it in another town and you're like, that's not the right city. So you can either continue if you know it's right or hit the X and then you can go in and change it. If you did put in the wrong zip code, you have to start the order over. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but that's how it works. It goes through USPS, so we don't have a choice to override that. So for now, we're going to hit continue, and it is going to take us to the finalization screen. And you're just going to review the information. So we want to make sure that our buyer's name is correct. That's super important for filing claims, as is their email, which I didn't put my email in here. But again, that is how they're going to log into the portal. So they can always call that 888 number to file claims. But if they want to log in virtually and file a claim, they have to have an email on file with us. So again, just review this, make sure it's okay. Diamond plan with Green Plus. So right now that promo is free. No, it's not. It's Fall GP. So when you have a promo code, you're going to get all the way to this after you've added that promotion in there in the beginning. Add that promotion code here and hit the apply. And that's going to reduce your contract cost. So once you have that, you can hit continue. I'm not going to do that because I don't want this to actually go into effect. As soon as you hit continue, it goes into effect. It will send you another screen with a confirmation number. You can write the confirmation number down. It's typically not, I've never had a problem where it's not shown up. So you can write it down if it makes you more comfortable, but you don't have to do that. So again, I'm going to go back all the way out of this because I don't want that to populate. And then the only other thing I wanted to kind of show you briefly is this agent toolbox. When you come into the website, if you go to the agent toolbox, you can choose contact flyers, postcards, videos, which can be fun. They're kind of a little silly, but if you have a buyer, like especially a first-time home buyer that just has no idea how things work, there are some educational videos in there that kind of give them a gist of it. So that's kind of a nice little touch. And then requesting marketing material, you're more than welcome to do that right on this website, and then we ship it to you. But it's much easier if you just email me and say, hey, I need some brochures. Or the office typically will have some brochures. There you go. But if you do need stuff, just let me know, and I'm happy to bring that over to you guys. I'm out and about. I try to be at least 3 days a week. COVID has changed that a little bit, but I'm happy to get out. It makes me so happy. So if you guys need stuff, just tell me and I will bring it to you. I am going to go in briefly to these contact flyers. So this is going to be for your touch program. You can see that we have several categories here, and they do change up a little bit as the seasons change. But one of the more popular one is this prepping for a home sale. And so if you have a seller, maybe you're going on a listing appointment, come in with this flyer right in your packet. It's prepping for home sale. You just click that and then click on this next little, let me see if I can make it work. There we go. And it's going to bring up this flyer for you. It's in a PDF form so that you can save it yourself. Obviously, it's branded with our information. But up here at the top, It's going to have your information as you registered on the website. So in your office is called Keller Williams Marquee in our system. That, like, I didn't do the whole Keller Williams Realty type thing, but so it'll have your name and then Keller Williams Marquee here. Or maybe it says Keller Williams Realty Marquee. I can't remember, but I think it's just Cato Marquee. So
It's Keller
anyway,
It's
you'll
Keller
get
Williams Marquee. It's Keller Williams Marquee.
in the system. Okay, good. I struggle with that a lot over here because we have Keller Williams Realty West, Keller Williams Realty West Partners, Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield, and Kirkwood and Southwest, and it gets really confusing. So when people are looking it up, you guys have the easiest one, to be honest. But anyway, it's just going to automatically brand that flyer with your information. You simply just click on it, save it, or I guess in my system, it's going to be come up here and save it. It'll save as a PDF to your computer and you can send it to whoever you want to. You can put it on social media. You can send it out to your sphere. You can print it and have it in your listing flyers or listing packets. Whatever suits your particular business style we don't have any regulations on it. So I just like for you to know that that's available to you, as are all the rest of these, flyers. Just keep that in mind. If you need something, or maybe if you just need to put something on social media or put something out to your clients, to your particular sphere, and you don't have any data at this moment, come in here and grab something and shoot it out to them. Like I said, you can do as many of these as you want to. There aren't any regulations as far as who you can send them to. They come automatically branded with your information on there as long as you've registered in the website. And it's just easy. It's just easy, quite frankly. So does anybody have any questions for me? That was a lot, and I feel like I talked a lot.
No, I dig it. Obviously, I told you I'm a fan. I told all you guys I'm a fan. Again, I wouldn't refer somebody or have them teach unless I trusted them and used them. And Heidi will tell you, she and I talk probably, I don't know, a couple times a month. Every house I list, every house I take a buyer to, that's unless I am directed that I have to buy a home warranty from somebody else.
Yeah.
Heidi's the one I go to.
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm Ariel. Hi. When Tuesday we were going over listing presentations and whatnot, and when exactly would you talk to the buyer or seller in your presentation about the home warranty? Would that be right around the time you're talking about inspections?
Yeah, so I can answer that one. Piece of cake. When you're talking about doing that pre-listing inspection, or you talk to them about, hey, the inspection's coming through, I right then I do bring it up. Hey, I have a home warranty, and a buyer is going to ask for a home warranty. Period. Dot. End of story. They're going to ask for it.
Okay.
And I make them aware that it's going to happen, and it's going to run you. And I usually tell them $600 to $700. So then if I tell them it's $590, they're happy because it's cheaper than what they thought. I tell them $600 to $700. And I'm also prepping for a price increase because nobody's increased prices in 2 or 3 years. It's coming.
Yeah, and honestly, you guys, I was not kidding when I said we are on the cheaper scale of the home warranties, especially for the 13-month plan.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of my competition is higher than us. So saying
Yeah.
$700, especially if you have a buyer that you can't control that warranty that they're coming in. I do have several agents that counter. I have one guy I couldn't believe. I'm like, aren't you losing contracts? He said, no. His seller will counter every contract that comes through if it says any warranty besides ours.
Yeah.
Just because it costs his seller less.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep that in mind. But yes, absolutely. 700 is a safe number because you don't know what the buyer's going to write in.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Ariel. So what I do is I prep them, and I actually have a couple of Heidi's flyers in my listing folder. I don't make them part of my listing presentation. But what I do is, as we're talking unofficially, when it's over, here's the home warranty that I recommend. Obviously, here's 3 more companies that I recommend. Here is my inspector that I recommend. Here's 2 or 3 more that I also recommend. And most of the time, people are like, yeah, okay, whatever you choose, because you're the expert. So that means that it's super easy to do because sellers know it's coming. They know it's coming. And I also tell them, hey, here's the cool part. You don't pay today. You're not paying today. You're paying at closing.
Yep. It's part of your sale. Your title company will take it
Yeah.
out of your proceeds.
Yeah, and that
Okay.
makes everybody feel better. That makes everybody feel great that, hey, wait a minute. So I'm ordering this and I'm going to offer it and I don't really pay for it. I'm like, no, you do, but you're not going to see it till it's a line item on the title on the settlement sheet.
Right.
Now, so you
And
guys know Heidi used to work at a title company, so she understands how all that works now.
21 years, 20, I feel almost like it was prison. 21 years in.
Now, is that the same thing for the buyers as well? They don't pay until closing?
That is
Yeah, so the seller actually pays for it typically. So
Okay.
on a contract, when you're negotiating a contract, that's one of the things in your buyer presentation. You want to go, hey, on any house we purchase, we're going to ask for a home warranty. And so
Okay.
they're aware that that's going in the contract. And that's going to become a negotiation point, just so you're aware. Right now on the east side of the river, and Heidi knows because the west side or because the Missouri side, same way. Our average price to list ratio is 99.8%. So the average house is selling for list price. So
Okay.
what happens is if you go in and say, hey, I want a $700 home warranty, I'll give you $700 over list. Now you're basically competing, right? So if you're bidding, you got to think about those things in the negotiation, but know that home warranty is huge.
Okay.
That home warranty is going to be huge. Same
Because
thing with
I'm going on as a buyer's agent, so I probably won't be taking any listings for a
right,
while, at least
right,
until, I talk to Julie about that, just, if I want to transition into that. But I'm trying to get an idea of m- how much and the overall cost that it's going to cost my buyer start to finish, just so I can, confidently know, well, this is what you should look for. This is what's coming. This is, how you should prepare. Or, even before you start this whole journey, you should kind of have an idea, or like when I'm talking to them, just first talking to them and they seem genuinely interested in moving forward with buying,
right.
you should, kind of brace yourself for this number
Yep.
overall.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, it's list price. Whatever somebody's asking, you're going to pay. And you might
Okay.
even pay more than that, but you're going to try to get what we can out of it. A
Okay.
rule of thumb is you pay the seller's price on your terms, or you pay
Okay.
your price on the seller's terms.
Okay.
Yeah. And, something else too to think about as a buyer's agent is, maybe you didn't write in a home warranty. Although I will say on the Illinois side with your contracts and whatnot, it's super easy just to have it in there, just do it. But let's say you didn't write it in, but you did write in, the seller will pay $5,000 towards closing cost. You made it all part of your negotiation, the seller accepted. You get to closing or the day before closing or whenever the settlement statement is prepared, because sometimes it's like an hour before closing. um, you you're looking at that and you realize that the seller is only paying $4,000 of closing because this buyer only has $4,000 worth of closing costs.
Right.
So that's when you say, wait a minute, I'm going to call Heidi and get a home warranty because the seller still got another $1,000 leeway here. Otherwise, you're giving that seller back their $1,000, which is
Yep.
fine too. But it's a good way to look at your buyer and say, hey, we still have this money. Let's get this thing in here. There's no sense in wasting it.
Okay.
So it's a good way to add that value to your buyer, even though it wasn't negotiated on the contract. As soon as the seller is paying closing costs and that is not figured into it, that becomes a closing cost.
Yep.
So then technically what happens is your buyer is paying for that warranty, but it's coming out of the seller's closing costs. So it may look like a charge on your buyer's statement, but it's part of that lump sum credit. So it takes that $4,000 credit up to, $4,600 or whatever it is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question too. Anybody else have questions or scenarios you want to throw out?
Yes. One more.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So I was going through the website with you and you were clicking like the packages, or I don't remember what you called them. Were they
Uh-huh.
packages?
Yeah, or plans or whatever. Uh-huh.
Plans. Am I picking that for the buyer or is the buyer picking that themselves?
Well, it depends. So if you've negotiated as part of your contract, you've probably negotiated an amount. So when you write that contract, you can either say seller to provide HWA diamond plan not to exceed $600 or whatever it is. And then you're going to pick the plan that coincides the best.
Okay.
As a buyer's agent, you're always going to pick the best plan you can get for what the seller's paying. Otherwise, if you didn't negotiate it, maybe your buyer wants to purchase it, then that's something you're going to want to put a brochure of ours in your packet to talk to your buyer with and say, look, I highly recommend a warranty to offset your costs for, repairs and replacements after closing. Look through this. Is there anything that you think, you could handle that would benefit you? So that way you're not really putting it all on you. You're saying, here's what they offer. Do you think any of this is, would serve you the best? And let them pick. Now, I did want to throw out too, Barry said something earlier about, he says, okay, here's the home warranty that I like or that I prefer. However, there's a couple other ones in there for you to look at. You guys, I don't ever want to lose your business ever. I want every single deal you can give me. I do. But always give your clients choices. That is a RESPA violation if you don't, and it is not worth getting hit over not giving somebody options. So I will tell you every single time, you can always say, I kind of lean towards this one, or I like this person, but there's a couple other in there. Why don't you look and see which one you like? Because you really, honestly, you guys want to protect yourselves from getting tangled up in RESPA. I promise.
Right.
Yep.
Thank
And they're
you.
going to ask you, they're going to rely on you and your expertise. So really, when you say this is the one I like, they're going to go, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And other things to say too is, I know the rep. I know I can reach the rep. If we have a problem, I know who to call. If you choose somebody else, that is totally up to you. You're able to do that. But I can't necessarily help you resolve an issue if you have one. And they may never have one, and that may be fine. Or they may have a friend who works so-and-so. Totally understood. But that's just another angle you can go at is, I am comfortable with who I can contact there, or I know how to reach them, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, and Julie may have one. I'm not sure who her preferred is, but I mean, I get to be in the position that I get to influence you guys, so I gave you some of my
Julie,
choices.
who are we talking about? Julie?
Jones Kleckner, JJK,
Oh,
JJK
yeah.
Home Network.
And I don't know.
I think she's with Britain. I think Britain's hers.
Is she?
I think it is.
You should totally flip her to me. No. Britain's a good gal. So yeah. But yeah, you never know. And I honestly, there's a lot of clients that I go in and say, hey, I know you're with Choice. Could I just be your backup? Could you just keep some of my brochures in case your clients would prefer a 13-month plan over a 12-month plan? A lot of these things are different as far as the services that are provided. So knowing what is covered under the plan, not details. I mean, you don't have to know exactly what's going to be covered and what isn't, but having an idea of the coverage, which is on the very last page of our brochure, is important too. So that when you have a client that says, hey, I think I'm going to go with this plan over here. And you're like, why? It's 12 months instead of 13, and they don't even cover rekey or, stuff like that. So just having an idea is helpful.
Okay.
All right, guys. All right, guys. So that concludes your training. If you have been watching either on YouTube or you've been live, and I know Phyllis has been here every day since January 5th, you have now completed all of the requirements. We're going to start again next week. We'll start again doing intro to command, intro to forms, all that stuff you did way back when. So if you really want to take it again, you're going to get a lot more out of it the second time than you did the first. But I mean, Heidi comes through this. She and I have talked about it. She sat through several of the classes because we have fun doing it.
Yes.
But
and I even learned stuff that helps me,
Yep.
Just on my side, knowing, especially inspector stuff, man, that stuff is awesome. Knowing what they look for and the training they have is amazing.
So that concludes it. And I appreciate everybody from being here. I think Phyllis gets a perfect attendance. I know you've been here since the beginning, so congratulations. Anybody watching on YouTube, congratulations. If you need to pick up a class that you missed, you can go back and watch the January training, or you can wait until we teach it again in February. And with that, everybody, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the training, and I hope you learned something. The one thing I do ask is I would love feedback on the entire training program. You can do that via email, or we do have the sheet that you can go into the dashboard and do. Or you can call me and go, hey, Schulhofer, you're a dummy, and this was horrible training, and I hate I got in real estate. And then I'll go, right. So take care and have a great
Question.
day.
Hey,